What about I'm the Juggernaut bitch? That was something that happened.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And then he chased after Ellen Page.
Yeah.
Well, didn't we all at that point?
Yeah, no.
At that point,
She was going through walls.
come on.
Andy, you basically are Michael Cera. So you were in a
No,
movie with
yeah,
Ellen Page.
yeah.
That happened.
Well, you don't
I live
find Ellen
vicariously
Page like good looking?
I mean, you did
She's
get
a
her
very
pregnant.
pretty lady.
Pretty face.
You did get her pregnant.
Well, I
Well,
feel. What
yeah,
else?
you were the star of Juno.
What
Yeah.
else is deterring you other than a good-looking face?
Not my
Does
not
she
my
have
type.
rickets? She does. She has rickets.
Or, no, she doesn't have rickets. That's
Yeah.
he's like,
Not yet.
have rickets. That's not.
You one of them polio boys?
Polio boys.
Yeah, you get off on polio.
My name is Bradley Jones.
I'm Andrew Moldenhauer.
And I'm Andy Hubert.
I'm Andy Althouse.
I'm Nick Haynes.
I'm Shane Souls.
And this is not a movie review podcast, but a podcast we try to remember what happened in a movie we haven't seen in a very, very long time. This is what we remember about Baseketball.
Were there 2 or 3 bad guys in Home Alone? And who was that forgetful fish in Finding Nemo? Join us as we're watching films. See what we remember and what memories we kill. Let's start the show. Here we go. This is what we remember.
So many Andys are here.
Yeah, there's a lot of us.
There's a lot of Andys.
Too many
Yeah.
Andys.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it.
That's
We're gonna change your name, right?
my name.
To Pubert.
Okay.
Yep, that's your new name.
All right, Pubert. Go, Pubert.
I'm not going to answer to it, but
Well,
you can go
They never
ahead.
do. I always call him Pubert, but they never answer.
Joining us from the Sketchy Nonsense podcast, we have Andy Althouse, Nick Haynes, and Shane Souls. How are you guys doing?
Hey, we're
You're
good.
doing
Doing
great.
great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
happy
it's
to
a
be
pleasure.
here.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Can you tell me a little bit about your podcast?
Go ahead, Shane.
Go ahead, Andy.
Go ahead, Shane. Go
Oh.
ahead, Pubert.
Essentially, we have more than one podcast.
Yeah.
The Sketchy Nonsense podcast, we have each show, we all pick a topic that we want to talk about, whether it be a movie we saw, a TV show, a video game, a book, a news story, whatever it is that we want to talk about, we bring it to the table. We have a good fun discussion about each of those 3 topics and hopefully learn something along the way.
And I was on 2 episodes where I talked about hot sauce and I talked about Planet Fitness. Those are episodes like 7 and 11, maybe?
Those
Correct.
numbers sound similar.
Where can we find those episodes?
SketchyNonsense.com.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And our SoundCloud. Sketchy Nonsense at SoundCloud.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
how it goes. Sketchy Nonsense
At
Type that in
SoundCloud.
the browser.
just
Just
do
type
that.
that into the browser. It'll
It'll
take you where
show
you want
up.
to go.
You'll figure it out.
And how do you guys usually start one of your podcasts?
Obnoxious rambling.
Yeah. And taking a dump on the ground.
I think you brought...
That's where we get our wild air.
Yeah.
We get all of our good sound effects from just us scooting on the ground.
Well, you brought a piece of your podcast to our podcast.
Yeah, I brought a whole bunch of shit on the floor.
One of the things that you do is a beer of the week, I believe.
We do.
Where you talk about a beer.
And we do.
We do.
And we have one that you brought for us.
Yeah.
What
That's
is
right,
it?
folks. It's beer of the week.
It's the beer of the week.
Let's play the song. Beer of the week. Beer of the week. Beer of the week. Beer of the week. Shane, what are we drinking?
You bought it.
This week, we have brought with us, from Oddside Ales, We Be Jammin'.
Ugh.
Well,
What is that? A peanut
Yeah.
butter and jelly sandwich?
Andy Moldenhauer,
Yes.
can you describe this label to me?
Yeah, it looks like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He looks really high, and he's holding up 2 leaves like he's about
Those
to.
are maracas, I believe.
I was
No,
thinking
no. Those are leaves. He's
Those
about
are definitely
to.
hops.
They're maracas made out of hops.
yeah,
Oh.
okay.
Hot
No.
Bracas.
A maraca.
He's
Ooh,
like
hot
flagging
bracas.
in a plane. It looks like, and he's in a wheat field.
Well, he's jamming.
He be jammin'.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that would make sense with the maracas.
It's from Grand Haven, Michigan.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oddside
local
Ales.
Must be jelly because jam don't shake like that. It's on the label.
In the description.
I did not create this label, by the way, but I should have.
And the description is a wheat beer brewed with peanut butter and raspberries added.
So we know that
Oh,
Nick is going to
dear.
hate it.
Well, it's a wheat beer. As I talk about every single time we have a wheat beer, I'd rather rip off my own tongue, jam it up my own dad's ass. And I'm gonna say this is gonna be awful. Why would you do this to me again?
I mean, it says we be jamming.
Smelling
right
it
on the
originally is just peanut butter and jelly
It smells
sandwich.
just like a.
Yeah.
It really,
It really does.
All right.
Even
All
the
right.
bread crust
Let's
is
do it.
there.
label. In 3, 2, 1. It tastes like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah,
does.
it really does.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
Wait, that aftertaste of raspberry is real strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lingering.
Wow.
See, one thing that I know that Oddside tries to do is they try to make like flavors in a liquid that should not be.
Yeah, and not like a Jones Soda way where
No, where it's like good. No, they try
Yeah.
to make crust, and this I can taste crust of
Yeah.
peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
My crusts are cut off on my beer.
Well, your
My mom
must-
made mine.
Your mom must love you then.
Yeah.
I'm only
Is it-
getting
is it-
like the raspberry taste. I can't really tell that.
Oh, I'm,
Yeah, it's
I'm-
overpowering.
oh, I'm
Get the
definitely
peanut butter
getting. I'm
part.
definitely getting the bread. The bread
I got the whole
part
sandwich
for sure.
sure.
I'm getting the whole sandwich
Maybe they
tonight.
stuffed a whole sandwich inside your beer.
You might want to return yours, Andy. They might have.
You got a
might
bad
have-
one, I think.
Yeah, you got the.
Oh, this might be a Rolling Rock, actually.
No, see, the problem is that they cut it in squares, not triangles, so it
Yeah.
fucks up the whole
Well,
flavor.
see, my mom
profile.
does dinosaurs.
Oh, what? You got the cool cutout thing?
Yeah.
My mom left me.
Oh, no. Well,
That's
Bringing it
cool.
down.
She didn't. She doesn't make sandwiches.
So on our podcast, we like to ask you why you chose the episode for this
Yeah.
podcast.
Yep.
yeah.
Why did you pick Baseketball?
Because it was one of the few movies that we've all seen.
And not only for me, basketball. I remember watching it so many times as a kid, and over and over and over again,
Yeah.
and loving it. And of course, I was a huge fan of South Park. So Matt
Exactly.
Yep, that's your way in.
Parker.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'd seen some of their other movies like Cannibal the Musical. If you've never seen
I
that,
like that a lot.
I believe that's their first movie.
Yeah.
Orgasmo.
Orgasmo
Yes.
was
Oh, yeah.
amazing, and there's a lot of characters, if I remember correctly, appear in this movie that are from the previous ones too. I love it. It's a great movie.
Yeah, there's definitely many times me and Nick go back a long ways
Yeah.
watching those earlier movies
Yeah.
over and over again, as you said. It's just, it's a childhood movie that shouldn't be, because
Yeah.
kids should not watch this movie.
Correct.
I don't know. I saw this movie for the first time in the last 10 years. So.
This was one of the first DVDs that I ever had in my house. I had this, Blade, and I think just those two movies. And I just watched them like nonstop.
I mean, those
Spawn,
the
I
two of those go
Spawn.
together so well. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna have two movies at the DVD boom.
Would you say they go together like peanut butter and jelly?
Oh boy!
Wow.
Oh wow!
I'm sorry.
Stretching.
I had the Mothman prophecies on DVD. But, you know, I got Tron on Laserdisc, so that's close enough.
I had Mortal
that makes
Kombat, I
up
think
for it.
too, with the clip case that like. It was the first DVD cases opened like a weird way. They just had a flap on the right side that you like you pull
Yeah.
open,
Yeah.
and they would
Yeah,
be
that's
in
right.
there.
It was a buckle.
It was a
It had
buckle.
like
What do you
2 or 3
It was
buckles.
a tab.
Cardboard and hard plastic.
Yeah, it was a little DVD tab.
yeah.
about this. You're right.
Yeah, it was a bad
We're
time.
weird.
Do you
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
this movie definitely came out? It had to come out way past 1996 for sure.
Andy,
Yeah, well,
What
South
was
Park
the
wasn't
year,
even
Andy?
famous till '97.
It came out in
Right.
98.
98?
98.
Okay, because 96 was the last Laserdisc ever produced. So.
Well, Orgasmo came out like the year before it as well,
Ooh.
in 97.
Okay.
So
Still not on
I think that was the
Laserdisc.
same year South Park
Sorry, Nick.
came out too. If I could look that up.
South Park, I think, started in like 95. So it had been around for a little
With that
while.
short, I think. With
I was
the
going to say
Yeah,
85,
yeah.
86.
Yeah, 90, yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be close
okay.
around that time for
It,
sure.
but it was
Yeah.
South Park had already been like well established before Basketball came out.
I've
Right.
been only like a year or two.
No, I feel like it was
Yeah,
on the
I
air
think
for
2
a
or-
while.
I think
feel like it was a
yeah.
couple.
3 or 4.
Because I feel like
Yeah.
Orgasmo came out before South Park was a huge thing.
Me too.
Or maybe we were just too young
Yeah.
to be like thinking Orgasmo. You know?
So, Shane
Hubert-
Schultz, what is the first scene of this movie?
Ooh. That's not it. That is
First
not
scene
it.
of this movie, I was trying to, as best I can remember,
Oh,
they're at a party, right?
there's something right before
there something
that.
before
No,
that?
there's
There's
something
something
right
before
before
that.
that.
Wasn't sure if there was or not.
It's a montage. Right, the opening.
Yeah.
The opening
Sort
is a
of.
montage
Yeah.
of sports teams
Oh,
on
yes.
the decline, and then they eventually cover it to where it got such poor like ratings. They started intermingling and stuff like that. It was a really ridiculous take.
It talks about all the downfalls and like pratfalls that happen within the sports industry.
Chris Pratt
Yes.
Mhm. That's the name of my comedy club that I want to open up.
Chris Pratt Falls.
Yes. So they talk like there's a few like New Orleans moved their jazz team to Utah where they don't allow jazz.
Correct,
There's all these
yeah.
like little jokes within that little segment.
Yeah.
There's like
Okay.
7 different California teams that just moved to there.
Yeah.
It basically talks about how you can never follow sports anymore because teams are just moving players all the
Yeah,
time.
it's very arbitrary. Is
Yeah.
the professional sports.
It's setting up the crux of the movie where it's like the teams aren't made to be traded.
They have to be local players, and they don't
Yeah.
move.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the rules later on in the movie that Baseketball establishes that there isn't trading and stuff like
Right,
that.
right,
If I
It's like
recall.
the big plot points that the evil guy wants to change.
Yeah, change it for profiteering things.
But there's also something that's happening. Reggie Jackson hits a baseball into the crowd and a little coop.
Yes.
Yeah,
Little,
that
little
does
Trey
happen.
Parker catches the ball. And
What's he say?
Oh, they do the montage and they come back and says, one day, Reamer, he's talking to Matt Stone at this point,
Yeah.
I'm going to be a big sports star.
Yeah.
And then they fade into them as older.
And they're
and they're
pissing
pissing in a bush.
Yeah.
He says, Reamer, one day I'm going to own a big sports bar.
That's a good. Yeah,
It
that's,
is the right opening
Yeah.
for this movie.
Yeah.
That is what happens.
yeah. And then they
Now we're at the party.
Now we're at the
Yeah,
party.
now we're at the
Okay.
party.
I got there eventually.
yeah.
So is this like a college party or something like that? Because it seems like there's a lot of like preppy people
It feels
there
like
wearing
like a
sweater,
like a frat party or a
sweaters
sorority
For sure.
party or
Like
something.
tied around their.
I think it
necks.
was. I thought it was like a party back in like their hometown or something, because they run into like a bunch of people they knew in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
it
remember
wa-
them meeting high school friends.
Yeah.
Everyone's
I
very
hadn't seen.
successful and they are.
Yeah,
not.
who are the preppy guys? Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
feel like it was some like high school reunion after party.
Yeah,
I
think
but
it
it was
was.
very
like that.
hoity-toity.
It was some girl's party
Yep.
named Brittany Kaiser.
Brittany Kaiser Sose.
Because I remember the joke of Matt Stone saying, dude, this is Brittany Kaiser's party and I really, really want to fuck her. and her dad
is right there.
is right there.
Oh, hi, Mr. Kaiser.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because it's her parents' house that they're having the
Exactly.
party
Yeah.
at.
And they go in there and then they find out that they weren't invited, actually. That they were odd men out. And they were like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, we didn't get the invite. And they're like, oh, we didn't invite you. It's like, oh, okay, fuck. Fuck me, right?
But then they start like scouting around the house.
Well, they sneak into the
Yeah,
house.
they just start
to
going
look
through
around.
their house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And this
Jump
is where
around.
they look at they get to the parents' bedroom,
Mm,
but they think it's
bedroom.
Brittany's
Oh,
room.
Yeah.
that's right. And they're like sniffing the panties and stuff.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
yeah.
And they find a vibrator, I
Yep.
think.
Oh,
Oh
Yes,
my
they
god,
do.
he
And
he
tongues
starts
that
licking
thing
it.
like
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Who
best
has-
part is
yeah.
he's tonguing it a little bit, and then the dad walks in, and he starts like super tonguing it.
Yeah,
He like goes wild like a cob of corn.
What are you doing in my wife's room? And he's like, like wrapping it up, like even after he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so then they like fold out the underwear and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
triple
They're like,
X size.
dude.
Yeah.
And Trey Parker's always saying, "Ah, dude,"
Yeah.
like the entire movie. That's his like catchphrase in the movie.
Yeah.
Dude, ah.
It's like a bad kung fu movie.
So then after that, I think
They're playing basketball outside the house, and
The
they're
two of them,
making
yeah.
every
well they make a
single shot.
bet with the guys.
Well,
Yeah.
the two of them, this is like after they get like they're kind of depressed at how like crappy they seem compared to everyone else at the party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the two of them are just sort of like playing hoops by themselves.
Yeah, they're not really playing as much as they're just standing in one
Yeah.
spot and throwing a ball with one hand,
And they're-
drinking in the
Yes.
other.
And they're
Yeah.
making,
And they're making
it
every
every
shot.
single time.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're pretty good at basketball. It doesn't involve like
Yeah.
running or dribbling or
just shooting.
Just shooting. It's,
Yeah.
they can do it.
But then there's like some friendly challenge that happens,
Yeah.
like with these
The two
preppy
prep guys, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it
They
was.
start making up a game at that point.
Well, they play
Yeah.
horse.
They were playing horse, and then
But they-
they were kicking their ass, and then they start making up the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because
Once
like they
they-
just
when they
start
start
like
losing.
peppering rules in, and
Yeah.
then like they just start making, and they're like, "What are you guys talking
Yeah.
about?"
Right,
like,
because
fast-talking
then that's
them.
when you get the psych out happens
Right.
Yeah.
like that
Yep.
early on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
He's
that's
like
the
spits
thing.
on his feet or
And he's
whatever.
like, "You
Right.
can't do that," and he's like, "Yeah, I can. It was a fair psycho."
Fair psycho,
Yeah.
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 They start making all the classic rules for basketball.
Exactly. And thus basketball was born.
Did they end
Yep.
up win? Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they
they
end
won.
up winning, but the girls go home with the
With the-
jock
with the
guys
hot jock
anyway.
guys anyway.
Yeah.
Of course.
And then this movie does something really weird that always confused me. They just I feel like they just
They
like
just
kind of
jump.
jump cut
they
into
go,
them
like-
playing basketball.
Yeah, way
Towards
into
the
the
future.
it's like semi-pro,
It
like
always-
driveway basketball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It always throws me off because it seems like it's just like such a quick
Well,
transition.
they're still trying to figure out the rules a little bit, and
Yeah.
he makes the basketball out of the lazy boy.
Right.
Correct.
Oh,
The
yeah,
lazy
yeah,
boy.
yeah.
There's a little bit of a montage of the evolution of
Yeah,
basketball,
and I
but it
think
does start with a driveway,
and
but
I-
it escalates.
Yeah, I think it starts with like a kind of packed driveway, then a super busy one, and
Yeah.
then
They
it's
have,
like,
it's
a,
like
features
full
on their
blown.
driveway.
Yeah, exactly. Like kind of crazy stuff, and then it jumps way into the future with like
Well, I
real
thought-
big fish.
I thought it starts off with them playing on the street, and then the one, what's the
Squeak?
Yeah, they keep calling him, like bitch or something. He's coming to shut their power off.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes, that
I
does
thought that
happen.
happens before.
and they
the
play
big
him
shot.
for it or
And
something.
they
Yeah,
say,
they do. They
Yeah.
They
play
say,
out of
hey,
it.
if you make this shot, or like if you don't make this shot, then you have to leave our power on or
That's
something.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think you're right.
Steve
Yeah.
Perry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No more journey psych out, Shane.
Little bitch Squeak Scalaria.
Yeah, Squeak
Yeah.
Scalari. Thank you.
Yeah. And he gets attacked by the dog.
He gets attacked
Yeah,
by
a
a
couple,
dog.
couple
times.
times,
A
yes.
couple times on this. Yeah.
Poor guy is the butt of every joke in this movie.
He is.
Right.
But in every movie that he's in with
Yeah.
these guys.
Which is 2.
He's in Orgasmo
He's
and
in-
Cannibal the Musical.
He's in Cannibal, Orgasmo, and
He
this
plays a
movie.
little guy in South Park who's like married to Satan.
True. This is also
He
true.
does the voice of that little
Yeah,
guy.
Ken or whatever his name is. I can't
Right.
remember.
So he ends up joining the team, right?
Later on, yeah, because he moves in with them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
he
Yes,
loses
but
his job.
When they
Oh,
do,
right.
Yes.
when they do that montage, I think like at that moment, this big rich guy, old rich guy, comes up and he's like, "Hey, I'd like to."
Ernest Borgnine.
Ernest
Yeah.
Borgnine
Yes.
comes up and he's like, "Hey, I'd like to get into business with you guys."
Yeah. He sees how popular
Yeah,
it is.
and he loves the sport.
Yeah.
And he's tired of the sports nowadays and how teams trade and
Exactly.
people going for big paydays and things like that.
So like so basically he funds like the beginning of the basketball league, the actual one.
Right.
And yeah, that's when you have like the rules of teams can't move and players can't be traded between teams. They have to and they have to be like local players, so that like cities can feel real pride about their teams.
So then it cuts to the playoff of the first year of basketball,
Right.
Where they have a simulated garage, like that is the court.
Yeah.
That's, I like that.
It is.
Yeah,
It's such
it's
a
really
good
cool.
bit.
They pan around the audience. Real Big Fish is playing and
Yeah,
playing
they have
for
like
some
in-house
reason.
bands at their games.
Yeah.
Like it's such funny.
Yeah, it
All
feels
the
like your own backyard
cheerleaders are
field.
wearing lingerie.
Oh,
I think,
yeah.
I think that's just
When I was a
one
kid,
team, though.
No, most
No,
of them.
I feel
Because
like
even
they're called
even
the
the
something.
even the
because
San
they-
Francisco one, they had dudes in like thongs.
Oh,
and
yeah.
shit.
Yeah. San Francisco Ferries.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
That's right. They were
That's the one thing
the
Nick
gay joke?
remembers
they were
very
not
well.
being coy in this movie.
honestly, it was probably my favorite part of the movie when I was like 11.
The opening was seeing those girls with the
Yeah.
lingerie.
Yeah.
And they had like riding crops too. They were like spanking each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were just going for it.
Yeah.
Great.
let's just take that in for a moment.
Yeah. I think Bob Costas is in this movie, right? Bob Costas?
Yeah, he's the
Yeah,
one.
he's one of the announcers.
Yeah.
I think Bob
Mitch
Costas.
Album? Bob Costas?
Mitch Hedberg?
I feel like it's Bob Costas.
I don't
it's
know.
Mitch
I
I
don't
think
know
it's
if
Bob
Mitch
Costas.
Album?
Mitch Album.
I think it is. The guy who did
think
the
it's
Mitch
Bob-
Album
all
did
the
Tuesdays
Olympics.
with Maury. Okay.
Bob Costas did the Olympics.
Yeah, I was
too.
gonna say,
Okay.
that's not Mitch Album.
I'm sticking
I
by
would,
Bob Costas.
I would stay with Bob Costas.
I'd have to see the face.
Can we should just say both because there are two announcers.
There are two
Bob
announcers.
Costas and Mitch Album are announcing
Oh,
the basketball game.
I was gonna say it's Jason Bateman, but that's dodgeball.
No, that is
right.
dodgeball.
These are actually like serious announcers who play it pretty straight, but they
Yeah.
do make jokes that
Yeah.
like, land pretty hard.
Yeah.
So Coop is Trey Parker's guy.
Correct.
Yes.
And
Who's
he has
the other characters?
Reamer.
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 How can
Yep.
I forget?
Well, you did.
Keeps it alive.
Now
Yeah.
I couldn't
Yeah.
remember if they met Yasmin Bleeth in the audience at this part, or does that happen later?
That happens later.
Is that the
Okay.
lady, the
Yeah.
love interest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's with the Make a Wish Foundation stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
She
That
works
comes
for
a
that.
little later.
I don't think they're there yet.
But there's a
Not
scene
yet.
where she's in the audience talking to him. I thought it was this one, but maybe it's not.
I
don't think so.
Okay. I feel like it is.
Could be.
Tell us.
It might be like after the game or something.
Yeah.
Well, there's
it's
one where they meet at an airport or after the game where he gets him to sign a ball. there's also another one where he's just talking to him from the stands.
No, that's after they're walking out when he signs.
I thought they were at the stadium when they signed.
Yeah.
When they signed the ball for the kids.
They signed the ball. It's like outside the stadium.
Yeah.
I remember that when it cuts.
They meet
to,
a couple times.
When it cuts to like the big stadium, he's warming up with like one of those warm up balls, and it's got weights on it. And he's like throwing it like behind his back, and then he hands it to Squeak, and he like
falls
does
over.
it, and he goes backwards.
Yeah, he goes backwards.
He goes
Right.
backwards.
Falls over.
But no, I feel like he meets her at the end of the game and signs it. And she talks to him about how much the kids love him,
Right.
and he's so into her that he agrees to go to the hospital and meet the kid.
Okay, so that happens a little bit later.
Yeah.
So right now, I think it's just Squeak and Reamer getting on base,
Yeah,
Right.
and then Coop
like
has
the
to hit
end
the
of the
big
game.
shot.
Yeah.
And like Airbud style, he misses it because what happens?
Oh, I don't
Why does he
know.
miss the shot?
Doesn't he get psyched out?
Oh,
Nope,
I know.
nope,
I know.
That's
it.
at the later.
Ernest Borgnine chokes on a fucking hot dog.
Yeah.
Oh, that seems amazing. They're like
Yeah.
giving him CPR, and
It
the
is
hot dog keeps
popping
jumping
out.
up and
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
It's so it's like CGI. It's so bad looking.
But it happens. Doesn't it happen on Bring Your Chicken Night?
Chicken.
It's one because they have all those
There's
weird
always
nights.
weird nights.
Yeah,
Or like-
it's
Yes.
like Bring Your Chicken
they're-
Or like
Bring
get a
Your-
free chicken, like the free baseball cap nights. They
Yeah.
get,
And
it's a
there's
free
They have
chickens
all the
everywhere,
weird promo
and
giveaways.
I think at the end of
Right.
the when they're walking through the stadium, somebody's sucking up the chickens
Yeah,
with a
yeah.
giant hose.
There's like 2 or 3 jokes like that. I can't remember what the first one was because I remember they start like throwing eggs at them.
I remember eggs being thrown.
He's like, oh,
Yeah, because he misses the big shot because he's distracted from.
Oh, I always miss
Board-
the big
Board
shot.
dying.
Yes.
So since he dies, that means someone else like comes into and takes his place, right?
Sort of. They had like the reading of his will.
Yes. I remember that because it's a video will.
Yeah,
He's
that's
talking.
right.
And they think it's the woman, the
Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah.
His young wife. Yeah.
yeah, who she thinks she's gonna get the team, but then he actually
And she was already scheming with like the other guy to
Not
Right.
quite
convert
yet,
the
but
league.
a little bit.
Oh, okay. Maybe. Yeah.
yeah,
feel
she
like they did come
flirted with him.
Yeah, but
and
he
stuff
edges
Okay.
in like
that.
hard and just
Yeah.
after he dies. But
Yeah.
Okay.
correct.
What were you gonna say?
Well, they come in and what's her face? I can't.
Jenny
remember.
McCarthy?
No, the other one.
Yasmin
Yasmin
Bleeth.
Bleeth?
That one. She's already at the reading of the will. They come in and they bring up like they steal like this big like thing of flowers.
Yes, the memorial flowers.
Yeah, because they don't know what
Not
to
at
bring.
all. Oh, okay.
And then Jenny McCarthy thinks she's gonna get the team, but then he actually gives it to Coop.
You're right.
And that's when he goes, and now if everybody could leave, I'd like a moment alone with Coop.
Yeah,
and nobody
Nobody
moves.
goes.
Yeah.
And Coop is like talking to him, like, yeah, I'm right here. It's like,
Yeah.
as if he could
And
hear
Ernest
him.
Borgnine gives like some like super detailed story.
He's like,
Like
remember,
crazy
remember
night we
that
had down
night
at
that we.
TJ or like.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's
Pretty
yeah.
bad. But like the condition is Coop gets the team if like they win the next season of basketball.
Right.
He gets
Right.
to keep the team.
Yes.
Because I think during the playoff game preceding this, like the announcers established that like the Bears, their team, like go to the playoffs every year but have never won the playoffs.
Yeah.
And which then like they're like it's a crime because they invented the game and they can't win.
Yeah.
So that happens, and then I think the evil corporate guy kind of gets in Reamer's ear a little bit right here, where he like tries to get him to be more corporate or whatever, to like see like the darker side of being able to sell out and like really franchising the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's trying to like split them apart a little bit.
Yeah, well, he kind of
He's laying the groundwork to do it.
right,
Yeah.
right.
It's kind
Okay,
of
so he's like
Everything
trying to
after
get him to
Will's
be
a
more
blur for
corporate
me.
by like marketing him.
Yeah, he
Marketing
basically sells him
Reamer.
out,
He
yeah.
tries to market Reamer basically
Okay.
because
Yeah.
he's the one who's like willing to be duped, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Coop is very anti-selling out, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that causes the rift to start to develop between the two.
Right.
Yeah.
Which kind of drives the story
I
throughout
think
the rest of the movie.
the rift happens like a little later.
It
though.
does.
Yeah,
It's just
they-
building
You
at
get
this
like
point.
the.
Exactly.
I
It's
think you
subtle.
get like the Make-A-Wish Foundation stuff starting
That's
to happen
earlier, yeah.
I think that Coop and Reamer they start to fight over this girl more and more.
In the beginning,
throughout-
they do.
In the
yeah.
beginning,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Did we miss a scene? I think
Probably.
we skipped over a scene where it's Jenny McCarthy with the evil guy, and he says like something
There's a
like
lot of scenes like
he's like I need you to like polish my knobs or something.
Yeah.
And she's
Yes.
like polishing doorknobs, and then like it ends with him going
buffing a carpet.
buffing my floor,
Yep.
and then she's in like this lobby
Yeah.
with like a buffer in
Yeah.
high heels, and she's like screaming. She's like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
can't do this." And
She
she
keeps
walks
thinking
away.
that-
Trying to
Yeah,
think-
because it like
I'm trying to
runs
think of,
into
like-
something.
They
Yeah.
also do, I think, laying some carpet.
Yeah,
and,
Yeah, laying carpet.
Yep.
Yeah.
And every time it's like he actually has her do the thing he said.
And I gotta
It's
say,
not
when
in
I
the
was a
window.
kid, most of those jokes, probably all of them, went
Right
right over
over
my
your
head.
head.
I did not understand.
Yeah.
Polishing his knob? What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm not sure. The laying the carpet kind of made it pretty forward because you got a pretty good imaging of Jenny McCarthy like knocking around.
Jenny
some
McCarthy is
carpet.
laying his carpet?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why though.
Well,
And she's in like a nice dress and heels
yeah,
doing
it
it.
doesn't
and
seem like
which is
her
why,
wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's why it's so goofy.
And she's probably laying it all crooked and stuff.
Oh, no,
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's free labor. He seems like he'd be into that. At one point, they end up burning some Ty Cobb bat, and I forget.
Oh, yeah, inside of that one guy's office.
Yeah, one of his collectibles, and
Was that was an accident though?
it was. He went to go swing it. It's like flies out of his hand and lands in the fire, and then the evil guy is talking was like, "I'll have to show you my Ty Cobb bat some other time," or it's like my most valuable possession or something like that. Yeah, and he's always like got something wrong with.
Yeah, he's got like a
yeah.
headache because he's trying to get a point across, and they just
And
they
the two of them can't
Yeah.
understand.
they
Yeah.
can't understand the subtlety.
And I think primarily Reamer is.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like, "What do you mean, dude?" He's like, "Ah."
Now, last week I tried to get Coop to agree to certain rule changes that would make you millions.
Me? Millions?
Now listen carefully. Do you think Shaq got rich playing in Orlando? Hardly. He made his fortune moving to L.A. You know how much he makes now?
As much as he made playing in college?
What? No, a lot more. Big money, and you can too.
Would I have to quit basketball?
What? No, I need you to get Coop to go along.
He'd have to quit basketball too? Did I just fart?
So when does all the Make-A-Wish stuff come in? Because I know that plays a
Well, let's do
huge
it now.
role.
I think there's some montages of just like them getting back into the playoffs, like they're playing games like all over
And
town.
them playing a
Yeah.
whole bunch of games with the other teams, so you get to see all the other different teams that exist
Yes.
in the league.
Well,
Yeah.
and you also have eventually Coop goes. He meets this kid who's dying on his deathbed. He tells the kid he's gonna win like the game-winning shot or something like that, and he ends up missing it. And he
Well,
thinks he
before that, he gets like super drunk in a bar.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly,
Oh,
it's both of
yeah,
them are in the
you're right.
hospital, and Reamer says, "Yeah, he's gonna hit a home run for you," and the kid's like, "Yeah, and he's gonna hit two.
Yeah,
he's gonna hit three."
Yeah.
He's like,
Coop's
"Shut the
just like,
fuck
what are you
up."
doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Then they get hammered.
Yeah.
because he ends up playing the
Oh,
game
right.
wasted out
But
of
he
his
takes-
mind.
But before that,
yeah. The
There's
middle
a
of the
great
movie
Dude,
is
this movie
scene.
backwards.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
when he's making that deal, I think he's. Oh no! This happens after the game. Never mind. Let's go to the
Okay.
game, and
Okay.
then I'll talk about
They-
this.
but they take the kid drinking.
Yes, the
Yeah,
kid
the
is
kid
with
does
them.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
okay.
doing shots.
That's right,
while
and
Jerry
because he's about to have
Springer's
surgery
on.
the
Yeah.
next day.
Yeah,
and
for his liver.
Yeah,
Yes,
for his
yes,
liver.
yes.
Yes.
Yep, that's
So they're
right.
doing
that
the
makes
crazy
sense.
convoluted shots where they're licking the salt and they're squirting the lemon and they're going Jerry, Jerry.
Exactly, and eventually Coop misses the shot. They think they killed the kid. They all rush to the hospital thinking this kid's gonna die, but the kid didn't die.
Yeah, you accidentally step on the cord. There's a lot of
Yeah,
hijinks.
yeah.
well,
Yeah.
they like sit on the bed, and he's sitting on the cord
On,
as
like,
he's
the
trying to talk to
ventilator,
him.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it eventually like just deadlines, and
Yeah, this
They-
kid flatlines. We
they-
gotta get it.
yeah.
They end up knocking out the power, and then later Yasmin Bleeth mentions that there was some sort of terrorist attack
Yeah.
on the hospital.
Well, there's so many things that happen like inside there. Like he's walking on bedpans for his shoes at one point. He's wearing scrubs, like gonna operate on the
Right.
kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they like shock him with the paddles
Yeah.
like a couple times, and then like they shock each other with the
Everything
paddles.
just escalates super fast.
Yeah.
For sure. Yep.
But the kid ends up living.
Yeah,
Yes.
he does,
Pulls
surprisingly. So then I think this is where the
big divide?
the big divide happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they really market Reamer.
Yeah.
And you get
It's
an
all the
amazing,
endorsements.
Yeah, he's wearing like
Yeah.
Nike and Pepsi gear or whatever.
Yeah.
He's really
an
corporate
amazing
out.
montage with Scatman playing
Yeah.
underneath
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And I think there's also kind of a divide because the other members of the team find out Coop has essentially all of the team's rights, but he could divide it up, and they all want a part of the team, so they start throwing the games, right?
I think you might be right.
I feel like they all kind of get mad at him, especially Reamer. He starts like talking.
I know
to him.
Reamer
Oh,
starts
yeah.
throwing
And then they start throwing games because
Yeah, I
they're
remember
mad at
Reamer just
Coop.
walking out very casually, throwing the ball, then
Yeah.
walking back.
Yeah,
and-
not even looking.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he's also wearing like tons of gold chains. and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep, like big fur coats.
Yes.
Well, he was gonna take the maybe split up the team, but just in general take a deal. And
Yeah.
they're mad because they didn't even discuss it with the team.
True. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
probably
yeah,
yeah.
you're
You're
right.
probably
That
right
is
on
right.
that. Yeah.
I mean, it culminates in like the big argument in the locker room where they're
Yeah.
both naked, yelling at each other.
Yes.
Yes, and they
Which
have,
is a
like,
hilarious
super
scene.
long dicks.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
What else are you gonna say?
And that took me a long time to realize that was
Yes.
ever in the movie.
Yeah.
And then there was one day it clicked. I was like, "What's that?" I was like,
I don't
Well, that's what the
remember.
whole
Are
scene
they
is
just
about. The
way
guy's
long
trying to talk to
containers?
him, and he keeps going like,
Oh, they just keep like flying up into the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
like,
like almost hitting him in the face.
Yeah, they
What's
turn
really
90
funny
degrees
is
and
if
you
you
just-
watch like the edited for TV version, it's
Yeah.
really good because they don't show anything.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it actually becomes much funnier because it's more subtle. So it's a lot of them like turning to the side and you hear it whap stuff. Like, it's really funny.
yeah.
And then Squeak's in this whirlpool and he starts going around in circles.
Yes, and he turns into a stuffed, like a doll, basically.
And then he goes flying out of it.
Yep.
Who is he with? He's with a Playboy.
A playmate.
Victoria
yeah.
Self-Step
Oh,
Playmate
yeah.
of the
Oh,
Year.
that's right.
because
Oh,
she
she
was
was
also-
also the ball.
She was also.
Did that girl mean something to you, or is that just
Shut up, don't worry about it.
That's a great line though. He's like,
Victoria-
what a girl who looks like Victoria still said Playmate of the
Yeah.
Year.
Yeah.
That's because it is.
Yeah, and that reminds me, like, because she was in this movie and she was also in a movie around the same time, Out Cold. Which
Ah,
was a
yeah.
great
Zach
movie.
Galifianakis.
I think-
Yeah,
Yep.
such a good movie.
I think Reamer was getting with her because there's a moment where
Yeah.
where he's
Yes.
trying to argue that he still wants Yasmin Bleeth, and it's like you were
Yeah.
just in the
Yeah, that's right.
whirlpool with her.
You're right.
It's like, oh, I don't care.
You're
Like,
Yeah.
Victoria Silvstedt, Playmate of the Year.
Because he pulls Squeak out of like a cupboard.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
like inside of the
Yeah,
locker room.
he's like in the down.
He's
on the
sleeping in like a
floor.
little
in the
shelf.
bed. Yeah.
Then I think my favorite scene on the entire movie is when he's in his yellow Volkswagen Beetle and he's listening to the radio,
song.
and the radio, the
Is
song is literally about him.
What's him singing it too?
When your life's spinning out of control.
It is him singing it, yes.
World
Yep.
is out to
He's
get
like,
you.
at first he's like into it, he's like tapping on the wheel and stuff, and then it's like, when your girlfriend thinks you're a dick. He's like, what?
When the light turns red and then the light.
Yeah, things that are happening around.
Yeah, it's one of those trademark beautiful Trey Parker things.
The world is out to get you. Everything is wrong, nothing seems right. There's a sinking feeling inside. Even your best friend has turned his back. But you can't let it bring you down. No, you've got to fight it. 'Cause you try, but you can't let go. It's when you're down that you gotta get up. Don't let them walk all over your face. Stand up for yourself and make everything right again. Even if some guy's trying to blackmail you and your girlfriend thinks you suck, it's up to you to let them know that it was all just part of some rich guy's evil plan. Look out ahead, there's a truck changing lanes. You got some yellow crumbs on your upper lip.
And those warts on your dick aren't gonna go away.
Yeah.
You start using topical cream every day.
Yeah. I remember that. That was such a good line. Yeah. So true.
What?
What? This peanut butter and jelly beer is great, guys.
You turned the corner on it?
No,
Yeah,
I actually like it.
Yeah, all right.
This is gonna be one for Odd Side Ale.
We found a wheat beer Nick like.
I know, man. That's
A
surprising.
wheat beer that doesn't taste like wheat beer.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tastes like
Why?
wheat bread.
I think I just want to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich rather than drink the beer.
Yeah. Just pour it on the bread.
So I think there's a moment where he either sells out or he figures out that something is going. Is like the overseas operation is happening and little kids are making clothing. Or
Oh,
like
part of the
things
part of their
for
endorsement
deals.
deal.
And,
Yeah.
and that's why she gets like super mad at him.
Yeah, it turns out like all the like the team's gear is being made in like a sweatshop or something. And
There's a couple of like montages of him in a taxi going to Calcutta, I think.
Yeah,
Right.
and I think they find it out. Like the guy on the news is from like one of those old 90s.
Oh, he's
that's
from
right.
Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah,
I think.
Unsolved
That's
Mysteries.
where these skits start happening.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a big report on it. Yeah, and that's where like she gets mad and leaves, but he goes like all the way over to the sweatshop, and like later he tells her like we get like unionize the factory and they all get livable wages or
Yeah.
something, and it's like a real workplace, but it's
Yeah.
still like 8-year-olds like doing the work.
Yeah, and at the end of it, the guy from Unsolved Mysteries was like, "If I was his girlfriend, I'd go find him and go
Suck his dick.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kiss
Yeah.
his face.
Yeah.
Till his lips fell off.
The first one before the other.
Right.
of
There's
course.
a second Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah.
Where it's like they're taking back. Like
Yeah.
they're retconning all the bad things that happened.
I remember that one of these scenes, I believe that they ended up like interviewing people that he knew. Ended up talking to Reamer, and he says something like, "I don't know, maybe he's hanging in his closet by his fucking neck." And then
The Unsolved Mysteries guy.
just said, maybe he's hanging by his neck hanging by his neck in his fucking closet. Then it cuts to a dramatic reenactment of a guy in his closet, like smoking.
I totally forgot about that. That's right.
So, I did want to jump as a sidebar. I think this movie is written by the people that did Naked
It's
Gun.
the Zucker brothers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, it's the Zucker
was-
brothers, but also I know that like obviously the South Park people rewrote some of it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I
remember
mean, while they
reading
were
this.
shooting
Yeah.
it, they were like working with like the director and the writers to.
There's even a
put
part
lot
where
of
Trey
it
Parker
in.
does a straight up Cartman
Oh
impression.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Absolutely.
When he's
Psych
psyching out, yeah.
All the psych outs are all so good. I'm trying to remember some. Like, and a lot of them involve Squeak.
Yeah.
I remember one of
Dressing up
them.
in
There's like a
outfits.
Jersey guy, and Trey Parker just ends up like eating tinfoil.
Oh yeah, that was a weird
Yeah,
one.
that
I
was-
never understood that one.
You don't
great,
understand
though.
it?
No.
You don't understand it now?
No.
When you have fillings and you
Yeah.
have tinfoil in your mouth, it hurts a
hurts
lot.
really
bad.
Oh,
If you ever bite
really
a piece of
bad.
tinfoil, it's a bad
It's
time.
a bad time, but it's only with metal fillings. It's,
only-
not
yeah,
with
okay.
like the enamel ones
Animal.
that most people get nowadays.
Whose fat does he drink?
Oh,
He drinks.
yeah.
He pulls out a bag. And he's like, oh,
What am I doing?
Oh, what
no.
am I doing? He pulls a straw and he's like, it's so salty.
Marlon Brando's fan?
Yes.
Okay,
I was about
got
to
it.
say, I know it's a Stars. I know he does one for the.
Well, wait. There's a moment where he the psychic's over, but he's still drinking the fat. Yeah, he takes another sip of it.
It's like doesn't work.
The psycho doesn't work. And he takes
He
another drink.
keeps going with it.
yeah, and they do a specific one for the San Francisco ferries that I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it involves Squeak as well. Like
Doesn't
they
he
rip
turn
down
Squeak
his
around?
Oh, he does.
Hands
Yeah.
down?
Yeah.
Oh, Australian for vagina.
Yeah,
so
that's
they do it.
Oh,
yeah.
and that's also like violates some sort of code.
Yeah, they're
or
not
something.
allowed
Yeah.
to make. They're like they get warned about all the gay psych outs,
Yeah.
and so that's like the last straw. And the ref comes over and yells at him. He's like, "Oh, that wasn't a gay psych out. That was an Australian
Yeah,
joke."
exactly.
Yeah, the psychos have to be within reason.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
get a flag, right?
One of them, Reamer, like squirts breast milk in the guy.
Oh boy.
Like that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Physically, like spraying him with milk. That should be the first thing to get a flag
It
for.
was so good.
There's one where Coop is doing like this jazz song with his mouse, and he holds up his middle finger, and then he
Yeah.
cuts it off.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it really cuts it off.
Cheers.
And then like blood squirting everywhere, and then the guy makes the shot, and it pans back, and he's holding a fake hand.
Yeah, he's like clearly just holding it. That was so good.
Good job.
Good job, Brad.
Did I do that? I'm all the way over here.
Hey, I don't think he has the power. All right, so what else
Like,
happened?
we get to the end of the film.
Yeah.
Well, there's the big. Yeah. Okay, we can just jump there.
They're still divided.
Let's do it.
Well, I think that's all we
Yeah,
got.
we're there. All out
Let's
else.
do it.
We're there.
The only thing we're missing is some real big fish songs in between.
Oh,
That's all
God.
it is.
Yeah, eventually they clash in like a some Moroccan
Well,
dance off.
Yeah, but before that, they're still like fighting. That's the last. They make it to the playoffs somehow.
Yeah, it's like the finals.
Yeah.
They do
And
end up
then
making it
there's-
to the finals again.
There's a like a halftime show that
Yeah.
they both have to
Yeah.
participate in.
It's like the Milwaukee Bridge of Friendship.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Malakalaka.
Milwaukee
something like
Bridge of
that.
Friendship.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
So what is that?
Well, for whatever
I know they
reason,
stand on like
they're-
teeter totter.
Yeah, they're dressed up like Hawaiian hula girls.
And
or
pine-
whatever.
and I think Squeak Scolari is
Squeak-
a
he's a
pineapple.
pineapple, yeah.
Yep.
And they're up there on the bridge and they're having a fight, and Squeak like calls it off and gives this really dramatic
Yeah.
speech about how they should just be friends.
Yes.
There's also a scene in the movie Martin Orloff that like is exactly like this. If anyone's ever seen Martin and Orloff,
No.
Okay,
Never even
mind.
heard of that.
It's a UCB movie.
So then they make up and they make out.
Well, yeah,
Yes,
and the
yes.
pineapple falls in the whirlpool. I think this is where you're
Or
thinking
no, I
of.
think he gets in fireworks, right? Or electrocuted or
It's all really
I
bad
think
on
there is
the-
fireworks.
I think the fireworks is
I
right.
feel like fireworks is good.
Squeak
There's a
is
lot of
injured.
sparks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets
Gets
grievously
injured
injured
very
again.
Yes.
Is
But
the,
he's
is
fine,
the
I'm
important
sure.
part.
Yeah.
And they do make out really uncomfortably for a long time.
Yeah,
Yes.
a long
Full tongue
time.
outside of
Very
mouth.
long time.
Yeah.
Interlocking of
You have,
parts.
you have to be very comfortable with your sexuality and,
Oh,
your,
I
and your
watched-
best friend.
I watched it over and over to make sure it wasn't CGI.
That was real. They did that.
It was right after I had
was
my
for
dad
research.
order the Spice Girls pay-per-view. I kept watching this over and over. That's
That's not a joke.
That's not a joke. I did order a Spice Girls pay-per-view.
Like a concert, like a live in
yeah,
concert. Okay.
Yeah.
That
I really
happened.
So my cousin ended up taking me and my older brother to go see Titanic.
Yeah.
But then my other cousin felt bad for my younger brother, who was like a little too young to see Titanic,
Yeah.
and so she ended up taking him to see Spice World.
So
he was
if
not
If
thrilled.
you fucking ever do Spice World, I'm your guy. I wore out that VHS. Hugh Laurie is in it. Do you know that? Hugh
I didn't
Laurie's
know.
in
House is
Spice
in
World?
Spice Girls?
He is.
Doesn't surprise me.
Man.
Yeah. It's a terrible movie.
So things start going well. Everyone on the team is making baskets. They're coming back. Coop is about to hit the big shot again. He bounces the ball a few times, and his lucky ball explodes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Does
right.
that happen
That's
here?
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is
I
where his
remember
ball
it happened. I
pops.
wasn't sure if it was this
The lucky
dramatic.
lazy boy ball.
It's like
Lazy boy.
super dramatic.
Since he's had it since the beginning of time.
However, the kid who was in the hospital, I believe, makes one for him.
Yes.
Right?
Yep, he makes his own out of
Yeah.
a different one, not a lazy boy competitor.
Yeah,
Was
something
it-
like
well,
No, they did some different.
Lazy
yeah.
Susan.
like some sort of other recliner company.
It's probably like a Serta, but when he bounced it, it just stayed. It just formed to the ground.
It's a memory foam ball.
Yeah.
So he gets that ball, and then he shoots it, but it bricks it. Mm-hmm. But then there's like a big montage of the other team like working together,
And
trying
it's just
to get a
like
putback
one of
to
the
happen.
games they played right in the beginning.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
about to
The big
say.
It's a
slow-mo.
callback
It's a
from
callback.
Yes.
Sure.
Because
you
that's
can
what they
go
do.
from
The
the first-
reamer keeps it alive a bit again. You see, like taps it up because as long as the ball's in the air, it's still in play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know-
you get a chance to bank it back in.
Yeah.
And all throughout this movie, the announcers, which I'm saying is Bob Costas, gotta
It's Bob
be.
Costas.
And Mitch Albom.
And Mitch, whatever. they're getting more and more like disheveled as time goes on. Like they're
Yes.
sweating, they're smoking. They think it's like the worst thing somehow. I think they just get worse and worse over time. I'm calling that one.
I remember that because the season
Yeah.
is because the season's so long.
Yeah.
There's so
it
many
is.
games
Yeah,
in a
that's right.
season.
It's just a grueling
There's even a
season.
part where they're like going over what can happen in the playoffs, and there's a giant board.
Yes.
And they keep on like, well, if this team loses to this team, then this team's in. But if
That's
that
right.
happens, then
in
this
the
happens.
red, in
and
the
that-
Red Robin,
the Red Robin round.
yeah,
So they get the putback. Coop ends up getting the shot in.
yeah. He
Yeah.
gets the
Pops up a
tip,
few times,
Yep.
and gets just the tip.
of course. That's all you need.
Yeah, they win the big game. He gets Yasmin Bleeth. Jenny McCarthy and Reamer have like a thing that happens.
They make out as well.
for
Yeah.
some reason. Sure.
Good for him.
Oddly
Yeah.
enough, less than him and Coop.
Yeah.
And the old evil guy is just like upset. I think I forget what happens to him, but
I think choking on another hot dog.
Maybe
No,
it's
I
taken
think
away
it was
or
another
something.
one of those. I think it was another one of those bring your something to the stadium.
That's what I was
days,
thinking too.
And he
then-
gets like pelted with like tomatoes or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
okay.
Definitely could be.
Yeah, that one I don't remember at all, actually.
Something has to
Maybe he
happen
gets put
to
in
him.
jail for like labor laws or I don't know. The cops
be.
come and take him away. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
I could see that.
And then Real Big Fish plays us out.
What happens to the kid? Does he never?
Oh, he's dead. He
Yeah,
dies.
he dies right
He dies
there.
right
He
there.
commits suicide.
That doesn't-
Oh wow!
Yeah, it
got
got
dark.
dark. It got real
And then
dark.
it does end on the Unsolved Mysteries guy
Yes.
coming back
yeah,
saying, like,
yeah.
we don't know what the fuck happened to this guy.
Yep.
That's right.
This never wraps up. We don't know what happened to
It's
him.
playing over the credits in like a little box.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that part. Because we do
All
know
right.
what happened.
All right.
That's pretty much it.
What did we miss, if anything? Get your last thoughts in.
I don't.
Nothing.
We nailed it.
Nailed it.
Perfect.
Nailed it.
Yeah. There's no part 2. This is it.
Yeah, we won't need it. No corrections needed.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident we got a good majority of this right.
I feel good.
Yeah.
It's definitely Bob Costas.
It's,
There's 2 guys, though.
there's
There is 2 guys.
There's 2 guys.
They are
It's
very
Jason
serious.
Bateman. He's in
It's
bold.
some other older guy. I can see
Yeah.
his face.
it's a
but I
bold
don't know
strategy
his
there,
name.
Cotton.
Yeah, see how it plays out for him.
Join us in part 2. We'll see what we got right and what we got wrong.
Joey, I'm here for you, dude.
The operation went fine. And then just after your game, we thought he was suffocating. He kept screaming, choke, choke. Then he lost consciousness. He'll be fine in the morning, but don't stay too long. You need to sleep.
Joey, I'm sorry I missed that third home run. But remember how I said that dreams really do come true? Well, they don't.
Coop, he's awake. I think he's trying to tell you something.
What is it, Joey? What? Hey, he's turning blue. Oh my God, this poor kid's freezing. He needs a blanket. Where's a blanket? Sir, can I borrow your blanket? Don't worry, I'm here for you. Sir, can I borrow your blanket? There you go, little buddy. This should keep you warm. Holy mother of God, he's flatlining. You killed him.
Oh, my God.
I didn't kill him. Dude, you missed the third home run and you killed him. No, I'm not gonna give up on this kid.
Coop, calm down.
Come on, Joey, come back to me. Coop, get a hold of yourself.
Coop, no.
Leave me alone. Live, damn it, live.
What the hell are you doing?
Where are those little heart paddle things that George Clooney uses?
Welcome back to part 2. We watched Baseketball.
We did.
We saw it.
We got everything right.
Yeah.
All right, that was a great show.
Movie over.
So what we remember first.
No, we've done
Okay, wait.
Okay,
Oh,
several episodes.
The only
where
thing we
remember
missed
things.
was that Squeak picks up a chick.
A man?
That's
A man.
A
Yeah.
lady man. A lady dude.
I'm not
happens to be a
sold
dude.
if it was a dude.
I was trying to look up who played, but you can't find.
Yeah,
the
I
role.
bet.
man
I
lady?
bet it's uncredited. I bet the person playing it was just like, you know what, leave my name
Well,
out
the
of it.
uncredited
Yeah.
ones in the IMDb list had things like they credited like the mascots and all that
Yeah.
stuff, and it says uncredited, but
Well, I mean, like, to be fair, like, he or she did not have any lines.
right. That's
So
why
they could get away with
Just smiled
uncrediting
and
it.
winked and
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I feel like any person in a movie that can be considered a sex symbol should be credited.
It's very true.
Yeah, so.
Well, was that person a sex symbol?
Absolutely.
Brad, what do you think, Brad?
What do I think? I think it was I think the character was a woman, but the actor playing it was a man.
No.
Yeah, I think you're right, Brad.
I feel like we gotta build a time machine, and we have
We
to
gotta
go
find
back.
this out.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. But it's
Yeah,
like you
so
prefer the mystery.
insignificant.
Yeah, it's like Schrodinger's cat, but with this lady.
Schrodinger's penis.
Oh, gee.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's both there and not there.
Yeah, I tell you
Answer.
what. Shane, wow.
I'm just saying.
Nailed it.
Worth it. A couple things we missed, I guess, just like the roadkill videos.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Roadkill
Roadkill
video
show.
was really good. I always enjoyed that when I watched it.
I don't remember. Like, we got so much of stuff right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
It's
we
a-
know
it's a-
lot
The
of
movie
it.
moves.
It's
so
a very
fast.
quotable movie,
It
so
is.
you
Oh, yeah.
remember a whole lot of
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
True.
Oh,
We can
no.
confirm that Squeak falls into fireworks.
Yeah,
he
that does
does.
happen.
Yes.
Yep. Never falls into the lagoon.
It was indeed.
No, they fall into the lagoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was indeed Bob Costas.
Yep, and Al Michaels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael.
Al
The
Bundy?
other one.
Nope.
No.
That would have
Nope.
been a more interesting dynamic, maybe.
The movie felt very Wayne's World. Like
It
it's
did,
like the exteriors and
Yeah.
When
some of
they
the
went
setups
to,
and
Little tangents.
yeah,
Like
when they
the,
went,
the breakup, the commercialism.
Yeah, I
selling
hadn't thought
out.
about that, but Eddie said it. It's very
Yeah.
Wayne's World.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can see that.
when they went to Calcutta, they even had a car that looked similar to the Mirthmobile.
There
so,
you go.
There you
Yeah.
go. The Gremlin, I think it was, is what the vehicle was.
Don't get it wet. Don't.
I
feed
never
after
get it
midnight.
wet. I never get it wet.
He never does.
It's really, really dirty.
Yeah,
in
it's,
there.
yeah,
Well, you
it's
should clean
gross.
that a
It's the
little bit.
dirtiest.
Clean that
Well, you
gremlin
can't get it
up.
wet.
Get it dry clean.
I like to
You can get it dry.
I like to be dry.
Oh no.
The movie's just chock full of jokes. It's
Yeah.
just nonstop hitting you in the face
Hilarious.
with jokes.
Brad, you sound so nonplussed about it. You're like,
I'm a little
"God,
tired, and
This
I'm,
freaking movie was kind of funny.
Andy, you take the reins. You talk about what we got right now. Go.
I'd rather sit here and critique your.
I realize that. That's why I'm calling
Well,
you
look
out,
at it. He's
sir.
getting pumped up now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get him back
So
into
now
it.
I got you in. Yeah, see, it was all my plan. It was.
Yeah.
You fell right into my trap.
Well, bluffing. You do. You go. You do it. Andy Huber, go.
You look like you just farted. You're farting still. You're still
Did I
farting.
just fart?
Did I just fart?
That's true.
Good quotable line. They did a lot of, quotable lines, but also the background humor. There was always something
there's
going
always
on.
something going
in the
on.
background, yeah.
So there's never like a scene that just doesn't have like 9 things, and that's
Yeah.
probably what made this
Layers and layers of jokes.
movie
Yeah.
just so rewatchable because you're always kind of
You see
catching
something you missed.
something
Yeah.
that you missed. So
There are times where I can like kind of pick out like which jokes were like Zucker jokes, like
Yeah.
any prop or any person that's like a doll or a dummy. Like you're like, okay, that's like Airplane or that's like Naked Gun or something
Right.
like
Right.
for sure.
Yep.
I know there's interviews with Trey Parker kind of renouncing this movie as like his movie. He's like, it's a Zucker Brothers movie. So
Yeah.
he's got some sort of animosity towards some of the jokes or the movie itself. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, I always thought that they had wrote it. I never.
Yes,
really-
I
Right.
think that was the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
even what they
Yeah.
wanted you to think when it was coming out.
Definitely.
That could be.
Well, because I think they do South Park. They did.
Yeah, South Park
Team
came out 1 year
America.
before this, 97. This came out in 98. And
Yeah.
then the South Park movie came out in 99.
And in most of their movies, like Orgasmo, I think they even wrote themselves.
Yeah, they had
too.
full control of those.
So
films.
I mean, I guess I always just assumed that this was the same thing, that they had
absolutely.
control as well. But
I mean,
Zuckerberg,
yeah, watching it now, you can see a lot of parts that are like clearly Zucker Brothers, but then like him driving in the car with the song playing, like that's
Oh,
clearly a South Park thing,
Yeah.
or clearly a Matt Stone, Trey Parker thing.
it's like a hybrid, baby. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's very in the middle.
yeah,
Malcolm in the Middle.
just the way I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what happens when I don't talk? There's
Dang
a
it, Brad.
wall.
Get back in here. You can sound as sad as you want.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Jenna. You got plenty of Jenny McCarthy in this movie.
Yep.
Do you? I could have used a little more. She was funny.
Yeah.
She wasn't bad. She wasn't bad. She had her moments for
Yeah.
sure. I don't know how many more jokes they could have squeezed out of her. Well,
I loved the sucking the chrome off of a trailer hitch.
Yeah,
and her lips are shiny, nice and shiny.
And she's all over like the poster and the marketing for this movie too.
Yeah.
But she's not in it at all. Really.
Well, I mean,
she was
right
such a big thing.
Yeah,
Right.
right around this time, she was still kind of known as like a sex symbol for that generation.
sure.
Yeah.
What was
She's
that?
been singled out.
Yeah, that's the MTV show. I was just about to ask what that was. And didn't she do like a Cupid show? Something called Cupid? I'm going to stop talking about it.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah,
Are you thinking of Hunks?
I'm
Like,
always thinking
remember the TV show Hunks on the USA Network?
TV show.
It was like
Is it
dudes
like-
on a couch and the girls like asking like
Oh, was
30
it like
questions.
Bonsai Movie Friday?
A little bit. It was a lot of everything was an innuendo, and
Yeah.
all the guys were like New York bodybuilders, and all the girls were like ditzy blondes.
So like one half of Jersey Shore is
Yeah.
what this was.
But Jersey Shore, the dating game,
Yeah.
in the 90s.
Yeah.
Is that what you were thinking
No.
of? Oh, okay.
I am always thinking about Hunks. I'm gonna look this
That's
up
just
while
what you.
guys
That's just
talk.
what you watch on a Saturday evening.
What, dude?
We don't have our earphones in, so if that's causing static, I apologize.
Oh gosh, darn it!
Oh boy, look at it under the table.
I always do.
Real
Oh, what
discreet.
does that mean?
He's looking at your Johnson right now.
He's looking at it under the table.
Oh,
Yeah.
a bunch of weird old photos of Yasmin Bleeth popped up.
we were curious to what these people look like now.
Yeah.
Mostly her. Ernest Borgnine's passed away. The guy who played the evil dude passed away in November, just this last year.
Right.
It was a bummer.
He's in a really good Twilight Zone episode. They have so.
Could you describe it to me
Yeah, tell us about
while
it.
Andy looks up this episode? We got time
Oh,
to film this
boy.
part too. So
Okay, let me retract some of that. He's in an episode that has some really good special effects in it, where the whole thing, obviously, since it's in black and white, they have the scene where they age him in like a matter of seconds, and they just used like
the Wolfman style makeup where they like put it on.
Well, they
time.
changed the lighting effects, so they had like dark lighting that went to light that went from maybe from red to green, but since it's black and white, they had these marks on his face. Ones were red and ones were green, and so it showed him like age within like a matter of like 10 seconds.
Really
It was
cool.
really,
Yeah.
it's a really cool effect.
Interesting.
I do remember looking that up. It is it's interesting to see.
I said that was a good episode, but then I was like, I actually don't remember.
Backpedal.
You were
I mean,
like, someone's
obviously-
going to listen to this and go out and watch it and come back
Yeah.
and be like,
Yeah.
I saw it on your
That was a
recommendation.
mediocre episode
That was
at
not that
best.
good.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was good, but the episode premise was that he actually had been around for like 100 years or so, and I don't know what the twist was, but he ages really fast and dies.
You know what? I tried to look it up. Nothing came up for Cupid dating thing. Singled Out was the only thing that came out, so I'm wondering if there's a segment. But I also learned that Chris Hardwick was one of the original hosts of Singled Out. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He looks awful.
Yeah.
He looked awful.
He has like a name for that look. It's like Larry Hardwick or something. Like, he calls it someone else.
It looks
sounds
like
about
it.
right.
His evil brother Larry.
It
'Cause
looks.
he had a drinking problem, real bad. And
Really?
And drugs were awesome in the 90s.
Man,
You could get them real cheap and
a
all
lot of
over
ecstasy.
the place. Yes,
It was
sir.
a different time.
I guess when you're hosting something like Singled Out, you're probably not. You're pretty okay with taking a lot of drugs.
What do you think about the sign of the times of this movie in terms of homophobia and racism and sexism?
Did you guys ever feel like it seemed really dated, or was there like
You
couple
can't
times.
do a lot of these jokes,
Yeah,
right?
you
It's
wouldn't-
way the
you-
PC.
But to be fair, they kind of still do. It's
I mean,
South Park.
I guess that's true.
yeah.
Yeah,
South Park has always been pushing the envelope.
Yeah, they don't stray away from it, but I still don't feel like a movie nowadays would get away with doing
No, I think the
nefarious
reason-
Or the Dallas Felons, or like the
Yeah.
Miami drug cartel.
Yeah,
What were they?
Miami dealers.
The dealers.
Yeah. And that's clearly like a Scarface like symbol, right?
Oh,
the guy with the
100%. The chainsaw.
chainsaw, for
Yeah.
sure. The LA riots they could get away with still.
That's pretty funny, yeah.
Yeah.
There was nothing about Detroit, though.
No,
I mean,
nope.
like they were there as a team.
They mention them as a team, but they don't say what they're called.
Yeah.
It just said Detroit on the back of their
When
shirt.
they were
so,
talking about the crazy postseason.
yeah.
Yeah.
When they're playing in the driveway, the teams are the shirts and the skins. I thought
Yes,
that was pretty
I noticed that.
I
Yeah.
kind of want a shirt that just has shirts on it now. Maybe like one that has skins on it too. It'd be good. Cupid's arrow?
Okay, Cupid.
Maybe I don't know. I think
arrow?
that came
Okay,
later.
Cupid, the TV show.
That's CGI hot dog, huh? How about that?
Oh,
Yeah, you
man.
called it. That was
Yeah.
weird looking.
It was
bad.
really
And,
weird.
and if you watch it, like looking at Ernest
Borgnine?
Borgnine, his face, like in the background, if you watch it, they just play his face going in like reverse and then normal while the hot dog's going in and out of his mouth. It's the most awkward thing looking.
Yeah, there's
at.
some weird like in-camera tricks that happen, like in the hospital when the kid keeps jumping up and down from the bed. I mean,
Yeah.
it's, like,
Yeah.
reversed
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
some awkward scenes.
Yeah, when they're sitting there and the guy from the one show, come on, the old guy, god damn it, when they're doing the recap of where Coop was.
Robert Stack?
Yeah.
Oh, from
Yes.
Solved Mysteries.
And
yeah.
they're doing like the zoom in on Yasmin Bleeth. There's a kid actor behind her who's just like looking like down,
And he's
like,
cross-eyed.
crazy. and her like tongue's out, and
Yeah.
she's like clearly she has no conscious idea what's going on.
So many extras
I
don't
did
know
not
what to
notice
do.
that.
Yeah. All the cheerleaders are looking like wildly left and right and forward and
yeah.
around. It's like
They're so
Exactly.
No one
determined
told
not
them
to
what
look
to
at that
do.
camera.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
if you were already looking that way, you can just keep your face there as it pans by. You don't, they're like trying so hard not to look at that camera.
And of course, all the cheerleaders are just as beautiful as I recall them.
Oh yeah.
I was going through the
Lot of
IMDb
buns.
list, and they like almost every single one of them has like headshots
Oh,
on their
I'm
profiles, and
sure.
they all still look really good.
No doubt. The only ones that didn't really were the ones that were the UFO and the alien.
Yeah, that was a little
Yeah.
weird.
I'm-
There's a couple
okay,
older
I feel
women
like it
in
was the
that one.
hair that did it.
The
but-
girl who plays the alien itself, she's actually pretty hot. She's on the IMDb.
That's funny.
And so is the girl that plays the beer mascot.
There's a
a
the
girl
It's a
there?
girl in that suit, yeah.
Wait, but she pees standing up. How does that happen?
Well,
Look.
I imagine there's a two.
Shiwi, you know. Yeah.
She
funnel.
uses a shiwi, yeah.
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 A funnel system.
Yeah.
It's a lot of funnels.
It's like a crazy straw in there.
Oh my. Why?
Brad,
Brad, you're not a girl, you wouldn't get it.
Yeah,
I guess you're right. I wouldn't know what it's like.
Look it up on RedTube. You'll find it. RedTube.com/sketchy nonsense.
Defines the latest episode.
It's not us. You might find something.
It's me. I'm not gonna lie. It's me. We nailed it.
I think that's it.
We nailed it.
Not much
I
else
think
to be
that
said.
is Baseketball.
I think between 6 people, we got the movie pretty down.
Yeah, that's probably.
Yeah, if you put 6 people in a room, they're gonna remember everything about a movie.
Yeah.
Some are pretty good. We didn't all talk over each other. Everyone's talking.
What?
Talking at the same time. Called it.
Nailed it.
Look, we're all experienced podcasters.
Yeah.
We know how to work.
We're professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do this for money sometimes.
But none of the times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Most of the time, none of the time.
Some of the time, all the time.
Zero times.
All right, go ahead and plug it up if you want.
you're
At
the
the end of the podcast. Thanks for joining us, guys at the Sketchy Nonsense.
Yeah,
Where can
thanks
we
for
find
having
you?
us.
Thank you so much. It's been a joyous time.
Yeah,
I
you
must
guys
say.
can find us at our website. We said earlier, sketchynonsense.com. We have soundcloud.com/sketchynonsense, at sketchynonsense on Twitter, facebook.com/sketchynonsense, myfreecams.com/sketchynonsense crew fucks.
Nope, still the rest of them, but not that one.
Find us on iTunes. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, leave us a 5-star review. We'll read it on air. We have an email. You can send us whatever the fuck you want to send us. podcast@sketchynonsense.com. It's a real great time.
And you know what? Hey, do yourself a favor. Go to the What We Remember iTunes page and leave them a review. They're really going to appreciate it, and they're going to get rock hard.
Get in your ears.
And then it's going up on the RedTube channel.
Exactly.
It's going up on the red.
Thanks for that plug.
Yeah.
We plug ourselves at the end. No,
Yeah.
we get plugged during.
That was a bit of a backwards plug.
Hey,
I like it.
I
A lot of
just
people
wanna,
getting plugged down here.
Hey,
It's
man.
feeling good.
I wanted to plug you.
If there's holes, we'll get them plugged.
All right.
Yeah.
I got
Wait,
at
okay.
least 2.
Well, I
We
can
can
My
make a few
ears.
more.
I can find some more. And then you can also find us on patreon.com/sketchynonsense.
Oh boy. Facebook.com/sketchynonsense.
Already said that one.
Now you're just doubling up.
Yeah.
MySpace.com
You know what?
/sketchynonsense.
Just
Live journal.
Livejournal.com/sketchynonsense.
Friendster.com
Oh,
Yeah.
Sketchynonsense.tumblr.com.
Grandma, if you're listening, just fucking Yahoo it, man.
SublimeDirectory.com/sketchynonsense.
Dogpile.
Oh no. NFL.com/sketchynonsense.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you guys are on TripAdvisor at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
How's your Yelp review
I
doing?
advise you to go fuck yourself.
Sketchynonsense.gov. We're ready for you.
We are on a listing. It's not a good one. We're not supposed
It's
to
the
be
no-fly
here.
list.
We also
Yeah,
aren't
I'll
allowed
say
to
it.
be within 50 feet of parks
For the
or
next-
schools.
Yeah, for
We,
the
we
next
are right
90
next door to a
days.
school.
Oh, we gotta go.
All right, we got to. Yeah,
we gotta go.
We did not
It's
know
not
that.
school hours, though, right?
We should have checked
Does
this
that
out.
matter?
We really should
It
have looked this up ahead of
absolutely
time.
matters because I want to know when they're there.
Nick had a very creepy smile when he said that.
No.
And I loved it. Thanks to the guys from Sketchy Nonsense. Find their website, sketchynonsense.com. Join us on our next episode when we talk about Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
It was a quiet Saturday morning.
Zelensky, give it a rest. It's Saturday.
Professor Wayne Zelinsky was hard at work on his new invention.
This thing works. It'll put us right up there with the invention of electricity.
That didn't quite work.
Did you get the machine to work?
A few more bugs to get out.
Then something quite unexpected
Where are
happened.
the kids?
I haven't seen them since I left this morning.
It shrunk the kids.
Nick, what happened?
It works. Diane, I got something real important to tell you.
Are you trying to tell me the machine works? Do the kids know?
Well, yeah, the kids know.
That's great.
It's not that great.
Why?
I shrunk the kids, and the Thompson kids too. They're about this big. Threw them out with the trash.
What?
They're in the backyard.
Walt Disney Pictures presents The Last Frontier.
Dad can fix us, right, Nick?
Sprinklers
I'll tell you, at their size, it's a jungle out there.
Nicky, get out of there!
Now, while the professor is looking for the kids,
Just gotta keep our eyes open.
they're taking matters into their own hands.
I say that, and it's ours.
They better behave themselves.
Something's very weird here.
What is it? Earthquake!
No worse! Lawnmower!
Rick Moranis is Professor Wayne Zelinsky.
Are you saying that machine
Blew up my kid?
No.
If the machine had blown up the kids, there'd be pieces of them everywhere.
Wayne, did you report some missing children?
Oh, there must be some mistake. Ours are in the backyard. Right, honey?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
We're all the size of boogers.